Nash to go and beat some people up. And my gun blew people to pieces, and Nash nearly got killed, but we saved him. And out of voice, the Battle Mage was very effective. I thought that was very cool. I took a new respect. I liked the way you played him. I liked the way you played him tactically and like the sergeant. Um, I guess um, Myrrh proved themselves, to be quite the combatant. Shadow was nice to just like standing back by me, and we were like plink, 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 everybody dead. Um, yeah, it was a slaughter. We were lucky we had Nash there to cover our butts because he took
Yeah,
the
Nash
hits.
almost died. Our leader.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I mean, he took the hit. He tanked. He tanked well. Um,
Yeah, it was close for him too. You guys barely got him out of there.
Yeah, we had to stabilize him, didn't we?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He was making death saves.
Weirdly though, he was succeeding unlike anything I do when I have a character.
Oh, true. Um, I think the other thing too is towards the end of that session, we kind of got our real mission, our first
oh
mission,
yeah,
what
duh.
we're gonna be doing, where we're gonna be going, that kind of thing.
There's,
Although I was looking for my notes and I haven't found them yet, so I'll find them
yeah,
at some
I
point.
unfortunately all my notes got put in one pile. For again, which day is this? What game are we playing? Oh,
So I guess I'll just do a real quick recap on that one then. You guys were being tasked by Nash and Beryl to go and search the Isle of the Drowned for a remote secret base of operations for the company to set up. It's all well and good to have warehouses and stuff like that, but Beryl really wants something that's no one but insiders in the company are going to know about. And for some reason, he thinks this is a good location. And on that isle right now, the company has a contract servicing a archaeological dig by a group of gnomes that some of you know of the recent influx of Aussie artifacts have been coming from that group, and you suspect from whatever they're digging up on that isle. And you were supposed to head out in the morning, but the East Enders having to prove a lesson to the East Enders and those that service them near the docks, you guys had to go down and make an example.
Or those who drink near them.
Yeah, or anyone who even associates with them.
And even that didn't make us change our timeline. It was the inopportune spellcasting that made us change our timeline.
That is true. Ward, who did not have a valid badge, had the cowled alarm go off in this tavern, and to give Beryl time to pull what strings he needs to pull to make that hopefully go away, you guys were sent on their way that night.
in the Nightfall, either Mur's Tale or something, one of the ships.
Yeah, so you guys are on the Mare's Tail, and the Nightfall was set to accompany you. But since you guys are leaving at night, the Nightfall will have to catch up to you.
And the fun piece of information about the island is that it's full of undead.
Full of undead, which we did not tell the ranger until she chose her favorite enemy.
As would be normal.
And
question I had
lead-
was, have we seen a map that looks like the map we're looking at, or is this just for, like, do our players have seen a map that looks like this? And if that's true, do we know where this island is on this map?
You know, this map is on would be in the warehouse of the company,
Okay.
because a lot of the trade routes and stuff, this is where they primarily go. So it's only about as detailed as this.
Mhm.
So it has the major cities, and some more information that's not represented here, and some of the trade route
And
stuff.
so the new island's not represented here, correct?
Correct.
Do we have kind of just is there like a ballpark ping of where we're going? Do we know it's like south
Yes,
of the
so
Nulanther Islands or whatever?
It is south of the Nulanther Islands,
Okay.
towards those isles that are south of the race, that are just kind of it's
Oh, okay. Nice.
a island in that area. And the idea is to have something based to where you're centrally located within the Sea of Swords, the Shining Sea, and the Trackless Sea.
Yeah, that makes
But
sense.
far
That gives-
enough
okay.
away that no one's going to come at you overland.
And the lead gnome's name is Phineas McNubber.
Phineas McNubbin.
Nubbin, that's an N.
McNubbin.
Dyslexia, man. All right.
Yeah, I was going to go back and rewatch because there was a bunch of names you gave us, but I didn't know how to spell them all. So at some point, I was going to go back and try to figure them out.
Yeah, Phineas McNubbin. McNubbin, you think he changed his name with a fake ID at one point?
Maybe.
When it wasn't of age. No.
But goes on 20 years later to become a cop, I think, is the way that movie ends.
Yeah.
if I recall.
Okay, so in the rush to get, you guys were prepared to leave in the morning, so I'm going to assume that everything was packed and kind of ready, so it's not like you're going to be leaving anything behind. The mare's tail had already been loaded. It might have a couple crew members that didn't make it on time, but other than that, it's going out fully stocked. So you guys are heading out.
And everybody's level 2.
And everybody's level 2. You leveled on the dock.
When you say mare's tail, is it like telling a tale, or is it like the tail of a horse?
It is the tail of a horse.
Oh, okay. Sweet.
And it's a merchantman ship. So not overly big, not like the Nightfall that came down from, where was it? Or Lumbor. All right, so you guys are on the ship. You guys head out of the port late at night and begin sailing southwest towards Azavir's Channel. Captain Greycoat is the captain of the Mare's Tail. There's several hands and stuff, and you guys are given quarters in the forecastle area. Basically your own area that usually any of the Marines would be on and stuff. You're basically the Marines for the ship at this point. So usually at night, and there's 3 meals a day, cookie downstairs, usually prep stuff. You guys are often invited to dine with the captain at his table, since you guys are of rank compared to all the hands and the sailors on the ship.
That seems fitting.
And the sailors and hands all give you the respect and deference you guys deserve. It's kind of the captain runs a type ship, and he doesn't. He expects obedience and discipline from everybody, just like a company. So everybody's got their rank and badge on.
And are there any other company men on board?
The only company man on board besides you is the captain.
Oh, okay. So he actually is. Okay.
So he's of rank, but all the sailors are just hired hands and stuff. They're company employees, but they're not company members.
Okay.
So they won't be privy to what you guys are and such like that. As far as they know, you guys are going to. They know that they're doing a supply run to just these gnomes on an island. They're not told what goes on there. They pick up stuff, they drop off stuff. Only the captain has any knowledge of what you guys are actually doing. And as far as he knows, he's just there to drop you guys off, and you guys are going to be doing some reconnaissance of the island for Beryl.
I have a quick leveling up scene if when we get a second.
Go for it.
Before we get there. Okay. So as we're sailing, like every day at some point, you guys see Zardan, and he ties a rope to like a belaying pin or a mast or something, and then he takes a satchel and he jumps up and slams his little goblin feet into it and swears in goblin and gets angry. And then about 3 days into the journey or whatever, he does the same thing. He ties the rope up and he holds out the bag like he's gonna jump in and do a sack race or something. You don't know what's gonna happen. And he's like, yo ho, blowing stuff up. And he jumps up and he goes into the bag and just the bag drops and he disappears and the rope goes tight. And you hear, yes, yeah. And then the rope is tight, and all of a sudden a little goblin hand comes out of and he climbs up out of the bag, which like laid flat on the deck, and he does a little goblin victory dance, and he picks it up and he's looking around and he just starts grabbing stuff, like, you know, like way too much rope for the bag, and he pours it in, and then he, you know, whatever he can find, anything that's not tied down, he's pouring into this bag, and he's walking around all proud with it. And then eventually he upends it, tips it over, and just belaying pins go rolling, rope, you know, a small cask of something all pours out onto the deck, and he's just, you know, just elated that his invention finally worked. And so hence he has his bag of holding, his first artificer creation. Well, I guess second, thunder cannon first. And other than that, Zardan probably spends his time creating with tinker tools little like clockwork, you know, little clockwork toys, and for like to entertain the sailors. And then they seem to fall apart after a few hours, but that's what he does on our journey to the island.
Nice. Yeah, that's definitely going to be a sight for most of the sailors. Haven't witnessed something like that. So so that acts as a bag of holding. So that's just.
It's straight up a bag of holding. When an artificer becomes second level, he's got like a half dozen things he gets to choose from that he's been working on, and then when you hit second level, supposedly, oh eureka, you come to the minute. You could have like goggles of night, a drift globe, sending stones, a bag of holding. Yeah, there's like I said, like a half dozen different items you can choose from, and I figured a bag of holding would be most useful at this point.
Nice. So what did everyone else do or get for second level? How long?
Shadow actually just looks more cunning than he did before.
Not possible.
Yeah,
You would think that until you catch him by the corner of your eye and you're like,
you saw him.
damn.
He is cunning.
Dashing and cunning. I also, you just see me staring very intensely at some people occasionally, and every once in a while you'll just see me after doing this a lot, you think maybe I just don't like people on the ship. But one time you just see me look at somebody and finally I full out grin, which is, probably a little bit worrying for some people, this giant furbolg. And I'm just grinning like a maniac. And Hunter's Mark, it's an invisible thing, so you wouldn't see it. So you just see me grin like a maniac, and I'll stop looking at the person, and then I'll turn around really quickly, and I'll be able to pick out that person immediately, no matter how full the crowd is. Like I guess just during the work hours.
So the sailors notice you looking at them, and then they climb up in the rigging, and you quickly glare up at them again. So you're just practicing Hunter's Mark on people on the ship?
Yeah, because I think it's super cool. I'm able to do magic prior to this, but I was limited, and now suddenly it all makes sense. Something about the rush, the adrenaline, and the sea just made it work, and now I have ranger magic or worldly magic.
Nice. All right, cool. So any questions before we move forward?
Nope, I picked up 2 ritual spells so that I didn't have to have them prepared. I can just actually do the ritual for the 10 minutes. And one of them is comprehend languages. So I thought a cool idea would be that he's kind of stayed in whatever room we've been given on the ship, and he's been working on this ritual, drawing chalk on the floor, using like dust or whatever it is that goes into this ritual, maybe trying different ways to do it until he finally got it. And then he kind of would walk over to Myrrh at some point and look to Myrrh and say, "Speak to me in your native language, if you would." And then just having her, because I want to see if this thing actually works that I've found in my book that I'm trying out.
Unfortunately for you, I say silent.
Oh. You just give me the look. I'm like,
it doesn't work.
No, you might know, but furbolgs don't really talk that much.
Oh, okay.
It's not a thing.
So when it doesn't work, awkwardly silence, I'm like, okay, well said. And then I'll go find Zardan, who I know is constantly talking all the time. And I go and I'm like, I go to listen to see if he's talking to himself in Goblin or if he's talking to himself in Common. What's his normal?
He probably, I would imagine he's been away from goblins for quite some time, so it's probably Common. But when he swears or smashes his thumb or whatever, then he swears in Goblin. So, or if you ask him to speak,
no, I would ask.
language.
So if you're talking to yourself in Common, I would kind of come up to you and say, Zardan, I'm trying something out. Could you speak to me in your native language a moment?
All right, and then he goes. Basically, he'll redress you as in Goblin, like something like robes. Robes are stupid. Why would you wear robes? That's not armor.
Right. And I'm like, and I give the nod, and I'm like, tell me what you really think of Shadu.
Oh, Shadu. All right, and I guess I'll be like, oh, he's so handsome. Look at me. Meow. And but in Goblin.
Yeah. And then I'll be able to. Now I believe comprehend allows me to understand. I don't know if it means I can speak back.
Yeah, I think you need tongues for that one.
Yeah. So I can't actually speak back. So although I don't know the words you're making, I'm able to repeat what you say, kind of verbatim, but in Common. Okay. And I'm like, did I get it right? Did it translate right? Did it miss any of the words? Like, I'm asking you to let me know. Did it miss anything? This is what I thought you just said.
Okay, and then he's like, that's pretty sweet. How about? And then he starts doing a barking, growling language, which is draconic, like the talk of kobolds and dragons. And tries it again, and he's like, and I'm the captain. I'm Captain Greycoat. Up and down the deck. you know.
Yeah, and
kind
I
of
just
thing,
repeat it
so.
word for word as maybe the captain's walking by. And I'm like, all right, this is great.
Oh,
So
yeah.
that
And
so I'm
I-
like, okay, yeah, that's good. This is working. Like I can understand, and I even mentioned to you, I'm not able to say the words, but I'll at least be able to understand them if the need arises.
and Zardan, see, this is something new, and he loves something new, you know. And if he could take your head apart, he would look for the way that you're doing it, but
Nice.
he knows that's not possible.
Cool.
Well.
And then, yeah, not living. And then the last thing I do after that one works pretty well, I would say several days later, I start to embark on the second ritual that I'm trying to perfect that I found in this book that I have, my book. And what I end up doing is it's a big long one here, sorry. I'm able to finally cast Find Familiar. And I thought I would just go with something pretty easy, which would be the hawk. So at some point from the room, you hear the screech of the hawk, and it's not a real creature. It's a thing that looks like that creature, acts like that creature, even though it's actually a magical entity.
But to everyone else, it appears like a normal hawk.
Yeah. So I think the first thing anybody would hear would be that hawk sound coming from maybe the room where I've been just going over my book and doing these rituals and constantly drawing on the floor and then redoing it until I get it right. And then eventually I would come out onto the deck with the brand new hawk. And I'll find a picture so you can have a token if we need it at some point. And then I would come out on deck and then let it fly and then practice the idea of talking with it, understanding it, learning what its limitations are, learning what it can do. And I don't even know why it was a hawk. I'm thinking it just happened. And one of the things he tries to figure out is why is a hawk, but he doesn't have that idea yet. So he doesn't know why. So I think that'd be something that would be neat to explore later on. And then that would be my kind of level up montage.
Shadu's fascinated by the bird. Watches it carefully all the time.
It's almost the size of you. I don't know how big it is.
So hard not to shoot.
Yeah, and how's Shadu handling the waves in the water?
He seems to be just fine. He came up here on a boat, and he does not seem to be bothered by the water at all.
All right, cool. So those are mine.
All right, yeah. The minute that hawk did its first screech, all the seagulls that were following the ship just kind of bolted. So the sailors and stuff appreciate having him around just because there's a lot less bird shit.
I'll spend my time throwing knives at rats and shurikens, cleaning the ship out.
You're putting the resident cat mouser that lives on the ship out of work.
Clearly, he's not doing his job.
There's a rivalry between the ship cat.
Exactly.
Just like you humans have to do everything for the babies. Cat clearly not doing his job.
Poor Chloe the tabby. Nothing to do.
I'll give her those rats once I catch them or kill them.
And if we get a chance early on the sail, I would definitely like to, maybe during one of the dinners, like maybe the first or second dinner that we've been invited to, Captain Greycoat's, I assume his room.
Yeah, his quarters.
His quarters. And I'll make sure I rearrange once again all of the silverware and plates as to the Lord's setting, like a great manners setting. So if it's wrong, I reset it all so it's right in front of me. Subconsciously. But then I'll bring up in conversation at some point to Captain Greg. I'll be like, so Captain, tell us about this isle we are going to. I assume you've been there before.
He says, yes, well, I've been there twice. Once to provision and go south, and then a second time to pick up crates that we were taking north back to Athkatla. There's a very shallow cove that we have to anchor in, and then take our dinghies and our back to there's a small dock there.
And have you sailed around the entire island at this point? Or have you only been right to that harbor? Or I guess that would be a shoal or something.
Only the eastern side of the isle.
Okay.
And there are certain areas that captains have been known to stay away from. And he kind of goes on to tell you that this isle's known for treacherous reefs around it, so it's a lot of the shipping doesn't go by it. But it's also known, the reason it's named the Isle of the Dead is because even sailing past it, you can see them on the beaches and stuff like that. And there are some reports of a Knoll tribe that lives there, and slavers have been to that isle occasionally, but it's mostly people steer clear of it.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I guess him being the most knowledgeable ship-wise, I kind of, at some point throughout the dinners, over however long how many days we go through, I try to work out with him a picture of what would be a good harbor for a ship. That's not the Gnome Harbor, obviously, because if we're looking for a place to have a base, Ward may not necessarily know what would be the best place for ships to come in and out of. So I try to get that knowledge from him so that while we're on the island, something like that would stand out to say, okay, I remember, Captain Greycoat telling us that this would be a great place for a ship because ships need this much depth of water. It's on, the windward side or the leeward side, depending on how they want to sail in. There's not a lot of shoals or, just asking him for things that a captain would want to have in a harbor, just so I have a better idea, or at least my character has a better idea of what we're looking for from the sea side of it when we're exploring.
Okay,
Hopefully
yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah, and he'll over the whatever time he's got available and stuff, and when you ask those questions, he'll sit down with you and kind of give, in his opinion, what that is as a captain on depth and how close to the egress and the entry, not to have to deal with rocks and reefs and all that kind of different stuff. As far as the other side of it, he doesn't know what Barrel's actually looking for, but for the ship part of it, he can give you a good idea so that you have at least an educated understanding of when you're looking at stuff. Like, okay, that's not going to work at all. That's just too shallow, or this is going to be a nightmare for a ship.
Yeah, and I'll write notes down and consult him when we have the time, and just to give us a better chance at that. So yeah.
Can't you just fix all that with magic?
Our goblin engineer might be able to.
Yeah, underwater explosives. I'll clear a channel.
That was the item I forgot. I could have built a helm of underwater breathing.
Oh,
very tempted.
It's gonna be great when the storm hits us.
I know.
Yeah, so useful.
I know. I literally was so, you cannot imagine, weeks worth of.
All right, so yeah, you guys. So far, you've seen the Nightfall meets up with you pretty quickly after you get out of Athkatla. They have a lot more sails than you do, and they can catch a lot more of the wind than you. And they're basically, their main reason for going with you is escorting you through the Lanthier Isles because of all the pirates and privateering that goes on around there. So you guys have gone probably about, I don't know, probably a good week to get through, to get past Velen and get basically an Asavir's channel. And that's when the Nightfall, and most of the communication between the two ships is either close enough that they're shouting each other or they're just doing different flags and stuff. So probably about the 8th day, you guys are ending up splitting off from the Nightfall, and you guys are heading, starting to head east toward those isles, and the Nightfall's still doing a due south course. And every night on deck is usually any of the sailors and stuff that aren't having to do anything with the rigging and stuff. There's dice games going on. There's obviously the game of Tonk whenever you guys can get around to it.
You mean trick somebody into playing with us?
Yeah, it's a there's running totals. People are writing on planks and that kind of stuff on keeping track of games and wins and losses. A lot of the money that moves around hands just kind of seems to move around between the people depending on who's on a winning streak, who's on a losing streak.
Who else has a marked card deck as a tool? Yeah, 2 of us. All right.
I'll certainly play at times, losing my ass all the time. Like, I can never seem to catch a break to win.
Oh.
That's your playing set?
Just playing set.
I don't know who these people are. I'm going to take all their money if I can.
So you're going to engage in as many Tonk games as you can with the
God,
with
yes.
the sailors?
When's the next time we're gonna see people that aren't gnomes? Gnomes are fun.
Of my
but not as
29
fun as
gold,
sailors.
how much have I lost on this trip is what I'll need to know.
Well, let's see.
I probably wouldn't spend more than half of my money, but I might lose up to that somewhere in there.
All right, so let's go through a Tonk game. Who all's playing?
Is there a gambling table somewhere? Like a how to do gambling? In this
You can
in
play
D&D?
cards in this game. In Roll20.
Yeah, you can make whole card decks and play cards in it. I've created a deck of many things for one of my games.
Let's try this for. I want to try this as a game of Tonk. I don't know if it's gonna work. So the idea of Tonk is to go out low, correct? So it's done where you're dealt cards, and then I can't remember what the total you want to get, but there's a certain total below that. You yell Tonk from the beginning that you win the hand. And then it goes through a round of discarding cards and being able to draw from the discard or put another one out. So I think whoever wants to play should send me a secret D20.
Are we modifying that D20?
You will with a deception roll if you choose to do so.
Okay.
So what'll happen is first we'll go through, let's try secret D20s. If you get a 1, you might as well yell Tonk because you've won that hand right off the bat. And then once you get that, you can modify it with a deception DC. If you beat the deception DC of, I'm going to give you a 15 and do that secretly as well, then you're allowed to decrease yours by a secret 1d4.
How do we send you a total secret?
/GM roll. So you and he will see it, but nobody else will.
Is it GM roll all one word?
Yeah. I believe so.
Let's see. I'll just try it real quick. Yep, that works. All right.
So after the first couple games. Zardan has never played it and didn't want to, but it's something new, and he would like stand around the edge and he would like run from person to person. And after the first few hands where he's like, "So that's good, right?" They like basically kicked him out, and every time he comes close, they're just like, they point at him like, "You're not allowed here because you can't keep your mouth shut," kind of thing. So I avoid the taunt games, and after the first few times that I asked way too many questions, I just work on my projects and tinker and work on the ship and stuff while they play games.
All right, so Zardan's not going to lose any money.
I guess not.
Respect maybe, but not money.
Exactly. It's a goblin thing.
Shadow, I think you have to do D20,
Oh, yeah.
or just keep sending a 20, which you're never going to do any good with that.
Oh no, his secret plan foiled once more.
Yeah, the winning number is 31. That's when you get tonk. Players are trying to get the exact right cards to get the number 31 before anybody else.
So like blackjack, but more.
Yeah, I wonder if we could actually set up a playing set to actually do that.
Yeah,
Well,
it probably would work with the one that's there.
and just in that couple minutes when you guys were talking, I looked it up. There's like a half dozen ways to play Tonk. D&D, 5e Tonk, and it's in Reddit and a bunch of other stuff.
Oh, there is? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, then we'll figure that out and actually continue with that. I think that might be something we can do virtually through Discord too.
Oh man, what if that's how we settle our arguments? Talk.
Exactly.
Like, look, we're stuck on this island with a bunch of dead people and gnomes. If we kill each other, we'll just be more undead. You know what? I have a playing set. Throw them down. First one to 31. Let's go. Except more gruff, but I can't do gruff because I can't feel my throat right now.
I've only got 24. I need 31. Yeah, so it could definitely be done. I'm pretty sure.
Okay, we'll have to do that for next time. Figure out how to incorporate the card.
Because eventually I want to do in one of our games, I want to do a tarot card deck where you guys pull tarot cards that affect your future.
Like I said, I did the deck of many things, dude. Basically, I found someone who did one up, and then I made the cards for the thing. Dungeon World.
Yep, that was pretty cool.
I liked it.
Okay, so you guys are playing your taunt game, and I assume so. Zardan, you're not in the room with them while they're.
No, I like after the first night or so, I was kicked out of any type of gambling.
It's like a toddler with too much candy.
Mm-hmm.
I just had another idea. I should make it so that the viewers in Twitch chat can play Tonk while they're watching.
Oh, neat.
So you guys, the three of you are in the forecastle plan. Zardan, you're apparently outside practicing on the deck.
Yeah, basically, like I said, I've got 1,001 projects that's always going on, and so he's always tinkering with something. The taunt game, after I was rebuffed, I've decided that that's stupid, and I go do my own thing.
All right, so you guys are in there playing Tonk, and for some reason, this set of usually Shadow is doing really well. Mur does good. Ward's usually losing his butt. Weird for this time that you guys started playing. Ward's actually up, which seems kind of strange to you guys because it's basically the first time that's happened the entire trip.
You got to let the mark win once in a while. They don't come back.
Yeah, exactly.
We
He kept
won't play
talking
anymore.
about how he wasn't going to play anymore, but one more try.
No, nobleman. Come on.
Yeah,
I'm
play
sure
one
your
more.
luck will change.
He's had a couple tonks.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, explain to everyone how Ward's says tonk when he wins.
Yeah, I would say he's because it doesn't happen often enough. He's a really crappy winner. So it's like talk, and he's pointing in your faces, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm the best player there is." He's like a horrible winner when he finally does get to win. But he's not a bad loser. Like, he's so used to losing, it's just normal. He expects that, so he's like a normal person. But he gets really crappy, and nobody. It just be like when he does finally win, he's just totally obnoxious about it.
It's okay. We know where you sleep.
So, Ward's in process of rubbing it into your faces again that he's had his third tonk in this game. And outside, let's have Zardan roll a wisdom saving throw. Wait, let me make sure of that.
Good luck. Have fun.
Yeah, and when you guys see me bluffing, like when I'm trying to bluff my way out of a bad hand or whatever's going on, raising bets and what, it's you see like the really quick blinking in his eye. That's super obvious, and you realize he has no idea that he does it.
I look over to Shadow, and I just give him like a, is this guy serious?
Pretty sure your money's going to be ours eventually. Don't worry about it.
One way or another.
I'm just like, not the way you're playing. Donk in your
Zardan.
face.
That was a 5.
Dude, I'm -1 on wisdom saves.
That was so an awful roll. That -1 would have not done anything.
All right, I'm going to move us over to the Mare's Tail real quick here. Let me grab you guys from the keg and keel.
Now the ship sinks.
You did want to end up in a hole, didn't you?
I'm just waiting for it.
Adventures in Atlantis await.
God.
All right, I'm having trouble copying.
You're going to be naked in the hold of a ship, but that's going to be pretty much par for the course for you.
Not again.
All right, Zardan.
You got to move the player's banner too.
Yeah, I just wanted to set it up.
Oh, okay.
This is so annoying when you have... They need another way of putting... I have so many maps in this stupid thing that I have to scroll so far to...
You can move it. You can drag a map over and arrange them in the order you want them. So I move the ones I know I'm going to use over to the left. Because I have the same problem in Storm King's Thunder. It's also good to make a token page, so where all the tokens that you create are on a page and they're easy to copy and paste to something else.
Yeah, I've got the token one, but this one was way over. Okay. So does everybody see where they're at on the Mare's Tail?
Yep. This is where we find out the crew hates goblins. And they throw them overboard.
Oh, there we are. Yeah.
Zardan.
All right.
It's faint at first, but you start to hear some of the most lovely singing you have ever heard in your life. Beautiful, beautiful words, beautiful melody. Yeah, this is where I should have had the music.
Cue
going,
Little
right?
Mermaid.
You hear a crowd.
You
Down
hear
by the
Ariel.
sea.
Yeah.
Under the sea.
Not Disney.
Is where you're gonna
Not
be.
Disney. Okay. I frenetically run around trying to find the source of said music.
And I have to do the same thing for some other people. Oh my. Okay, so you start hearing this sound, and you notice that John's is looking around just like you are. Some of the other members are starting to run around. Coming up from the side of the ship, you see this red-haired, elven-looking face on a body that has fairly big white feathers, wings with black tips.
Oh, you muted.
Oh, where did I leave off?
Tips.
So black tips on the big white plumed feathers, and these orange legs. Basically, the face of a beautiful red haired elf, but it looks kind of haggard too, on the body of a seagull. And she is singing. And the minute you see her, you want to start walking towards her.
All right. I already put myself to the rail.
Let me get her on site. And those of you inside playing Tonk hear some yelling coming from outside. You guys are being fairly loud inside.
Some abnormal yelling.
Yeah, at this point it sounds bad because it sounds like some of the sailors are, yelling, saying, "Bo, don't jump!" And one of the other guys is screaming for the captain.
Oh shit. Well, I guess we better go see what these idiots are up to. And I start standing up and going at a light jog.
Yeah, Ward looks crestfallen because he's been winning, and now the game's about to be broken up. And I was like, I knew my luck wouldn't last as I'm trying to scrape my winnings into a bag, and I'm the last one to leave the table.
I will bolt for the stairs.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and we should probably
Crossbow drawn.
go into initiative at this.
Yeah. Now, does my... Let's find out.
What?
Oh, nope.
It's okay.
I'm sorry, I cleared it. I had all the stuff from the other one, so if you guys want to put your guys in again, I'll reset them. That works.
Wow. I think you've done that twice, right? PB?
No, I think that was somebody else last
Oh.
time.
It was like a 14 and then another 14.
Mine was actually a
I
10.
think that was you.
No, it wasn't me. Pretty sure.
But I did get my macro right because I do have a +4, which is nice. Oh, wait, no, I should have more than that.
For initiative?
I think so.
It's just your dex, right?
Except that I have Tactical Will as a War Mage. I get +2 to my initiative, so I have a 12. I'll have to... I don't know how to put that. It's a new ability, so I'll have to find out if the character sheet can do that. And I'll show you the text. Here you go. There you go. Tactical will. So I'm a 12.
So you guys will have to teach me how to do that advantage on initiative for SKT. Greybeard just got that as his level up there
There it
for
is.
7th.
Initiative modifier 2. Not 20. 2.
All right, so Shadu, you are up first coming out.
Can I pop the stairs right there?
Yes.
And she is over the railing on that side?
Yeah,
I can
she
see
is
her?
over the railing.
Do I have a line of sight to shoot her?
Yes.
Then I do so.
All right, go ahead.
No sneak attack, I'm assuming. Unless I surprised her.
Yeah, you didn't surprise her.
Shadow's macros.
They worked last week. Why don't they work this week?
Because it's roll 20.
There. 8.
8 points of piercing.
Provided the 20 hits.
The 20 does hit. All right.
Nice. Light crossbow.
Make a wisdom save. Now that you are in earshot. All right, you are fine. And I guess I should have made that the minute you came up. You should have done that. So, but since you saved, you would have got your shot off. So Ward and Mur, when they come out, will need a wisdom save first. Any additional actions?
Yeah, I'm going to clear the deck, or clear the stairs so the rest of everybody else can come out.
All right.
He'll actually run the stairs and get up on the main. What is that? Poop deck? I don't know.
The poop deck.
And you're in the Navy. What is that?
Foredeck, yeah. Aft would be the poop deck.
And there I go. I'm actually gonna.
Also known as the forecastle.
That's it for me. I'm done.
All right. Zardan.
Okay. So I can cross through these other sailors' spaces without movement penalty.
Yes.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, splash.
All right. You guys or Shadu just saw Zardan. And actually, as you do that, I'm going to give Rickett a chance to try to grapple you from going past him when he sees you.
Okay. That's this guy?
Yeah. And he missed horribly with a 4.
Well, you don't know because I have to oppose, right?
Oh, yeah. Oppose that. Can you beat a 4?
He's all greased up from all the contraptions he's been using.
Yeah, obviously a goblin duck.
Right through his legs.
Which
And into the brink. All right, Mur.
I trudge out.
Oh, is
And
Mur's dex
I-
higher than mine? That's crap.
Hey, you're picking up your winnings, man. You're
Do you have an
you
18
stayed back.
dex?
You stayed back. You said. I wasn't the greedy one here.
I am greedy.
I pop up and I look around and I see these guys just looking over the edge, and then I look up seeing Shadow and I see where he's looking and pointing, and I'm like, oh fuck.
Make a
So
wisdom check.
oh, this is gonna go great. I already know. Wisdom. Oh, that's just straight wisdom. Is that fine? Not a saving throw?
Yeah,
It's the
that's
same
fine.
number. It doesn't matter.
It's the same number.
Yeah. It's still a +2.
You definitely hear it, and you're like, "Gosh, that is beautiful." I'm very torn, but something in the back of your mind makes you feel like something's not quite right about this. So you successfully were not charmed
I'd say,
and can
well,
continue on.
and I continue this way. I have no idea how many steps. Okay, what's here? 15, 20, 25. And that's about as far as I can get. I guess I could move faster. I could dash, right? That's a thing in this game. And I move forward with my... Well, I won't block a shot, but I will move into a more nice position over there with my sword drawn, ready to attack. And I get the chance.
All right, is that it?
Yeah, I use my dash. That's about it. Oh, wait. I have a bonus action now. I cast Hunter's Mark on her.
All right, up to Ward.
All right. We'll go 5, 10. I will cast my Mage's Armor using spell slot, first level spell slot number 1. Leaves me 2 left, and we see the again the armor up, and I each time there's a little more armor, so now there's like almost like a gorget part that armors up, and then I will go up the stairs. So I've used 10, 20, or 5, 10, 15 is on the stairs. So is it 5 to go up, or is that?
Yeah, 5 to go up.
So here I would be 20.
Yep, and there you'll make your wisdom save.
All right, so I'm going to use an ability. There's one thing I need to know. Because as a reaction, I can use a... Oh, okay, so it's a reaction, so I can do it after I roll then. Okay. Let's see how this goes. Wisdom save. Ooh. So I'm going to use my reaction. And I'm going to add +4 to that. May not help, but I would get a 10.
A 10 does not do it.
All right. Nice. I'm like, that is some beautiful music. What is going
beautiful.
on?
So you desire to move towards this sea harpy and come into her loving embrace.
25, 30. So I'll get up to here moving that way.
All right.
And I'll be like, I'll look to Shadu and say, "Why is your crossbow out?" As I begin to move towards I'm looking in this direction, as it looks like I'm moving that way. Although I've used up my movement for the turn. So as my action, my bonus action, or my reaction, and my movement, so I'm good.
All right. So these guys are actually going on, your sailor mates are actually going on 10. I don't have them listed in the turn order. Bo takes a running leap, just kind of does that with his arms stretched out, trying to hug the harpy, and falls straight down right next to Zardan. Swan and Whitney are running and trying to hold back the other two that are now moving towards. And Rickett is running to get the captain. All right. Now the Harpy. Let's see, who does she want to eat first? Zardan. She's coming for you.
Goblins are a delicacy.
There is no swimming skill, is there? So we just assumed that everybody can swim, huh?
Athletics.
Well, if you want to make a roll, but how do we tell if somebody can swim or can't swim? Oh, they have a swimming. Well, they have a swimming move speed, I guess, but
Yeah, they have a swimming speed.
very few of us have that, though.
I would assume that you can swim at least for a while.
Okay.
In the rules, it's athletics for swimming, climbing, jumping.
Does a 9 hit you, Zardan?
I'm gonna ask, am I trying to duck, or am I just like, oh, she's gonna give me a hug? A 9 will not hit even with base armor class. It would be 10.
Let's just do base without trying to dodge.
Yep. So it would be 10. So.
All right, so that missed you, and she tries again. That's definitely a hit. 22. Yep. For 3 slashing. As you go to reach up to her, thinking that she's going to embrace you, she just slices your outstretched forearm. But you're fine with it.
I'm like, it hurts so good.
All right, we are to Shadu. You see the Harpy has descended into the water where the Zardan and the other sailor are, and is slashing while she's still singing, slashing.
I will move to the edge and shoot her. She's engaged with Zardan. Does that mean I get sneak attack at that point?
He's not threatening her. So no.
All right.
I'm threatening her with love.
That is a hit.
All right, 7.
For 7. All right, you hear her squawk.
I will stay at the rail and reload the crossbow.
All right.
Well,
Zardan.
Move back a little bit.
All right. Do we get a repeated save, or is it just... Not that I'm going to make a wisdom save ever, but, you know.
I believe you do not get a save as long as you're being damaged by the Harpy.
Interesting.
Let me check. Dang, I read it and now I can't find it.
The suspense is killing me. It's not like I don't have every book
Yeah.
right here.
It doesn't avoid opportunity attacks, but before moving into damaging terrain such as lava or pit, or whenever it takes damage from a source other than the Harpy, the target can repeat the saving throw. Oh wait, a creature can also repeat the saving throw at each of its turns. So yes, you do get a saving throw.
All right. Woo-woo.
Woo-woo.
This feels so good.
It's lovely.
This hurts so bad. It must be right.
Yep.
All right, Zardan is. Go ahead and do an athletics check. Let's see how well you're keeping your head above water. Oh, you're fine.
Must get
Scrappy.
to Harpy.
All right, Myrrh.
It's like some water polo out there.
I am going to get right up here. I'm going to look down. I'm going to look behind me. I'm going to look down. I'm going to look behind me. I'm going to take out my other sword and I leap off straight at the Harpy.
Okay.
And I attempt to attack her twice. As I land probably either hopefully on top of her, or at least close enough where I can attack her.
All right, let's do an athletics check to see if you can successfully pull off an attack. No.
Nope. No. Sorry, my life.
So
Well,
as you get ready to do this cool jump off flying attack, at the very last second your ankle gets caught in some of the rigging and you just get tied up and go sliding right over the rail and slam against the hull, and you're hanging upside down by your ankle off the side of the the edge of the boat.
Sweet. I'm assuming that is my entire turn. So
Yeah.
that will be it.
I got this. Don't worry about it.
Now we go to Ward. So do you take
So
at the end of each of your turn is when the saving throw happens?
okay, and so what's actually happening to me as far as, is she telling me to do something? Am I wanting to do stuff?
You're wanting to go to her in whatever shortest way possible.
Okay, so can I, let's see. You tell me if this would be okay or not. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Can I just try to jump and hug her?
Sure.
I just like, I'm going to go out and try to hug her like we're embracing. And I yell to Zardan, no, she's mine. What would you like me to do for this attempted feat?
Let's do athletics as you jump off.
Yeah, I'm attempting to metagame it. I'm trying to grapple her, but I'm trying to give her a big hug of love. Let's see, athletics. Here we go. Terrible.
I'm gonna say unless she does a horrible dex that she's gonna avoid.
Oh, uh-oh.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
that's bad.
I embrace her. She's my new love.
So Ward runs and jumps off. I love you. And she's busy trying to slice up Zardan, and you end up basically landing on her back and wrapping your arms around her, and you guys are going to fall into the ocean together.
Yeah, I'm
She
telling her,
cannot support
let's
your
fly
weight.
away. We can live together forever. Fly us away. As we crash into the water.
Yes.
And now I get my Wisdom check, correct?
Now yes. To see how wise that was.
Okay, here we go. There we go. Comes to his senses when the water hits him in the face. It's like, what's going on? As I'm grappled onto this this harpy now that I realize what it is. Or you can describe it.
Yeah, so I like that. As you hit the water, the kind of shock of the cold water, and the fall kind of wakes you to your senses, and you see that you're on the back of this what looks to you like a red-haired seagull, and she is flapping furiously, trying to get out of your grip, and basically going down.
Yeah, I'll hold on. I'll just hold on until see what happens at this point. And that's my full turn.
All right, so she is going to start swimming into this direction. Let's see. She's gonna try to get out of your grapple. Once you're grappled, is that strength or dex, or is it up to my
You
choice?
choose.
All right, then it will be. We'll try strength since dex didn't work very well for her last time.
So that's against because it's still opposed, I believe.
Yeah, so it's opposed.
And I think mine is still. The person holding you can use athletics or. Yeah, so I'll just use athletics. It's strength based, which I'm not good at, but I'll try it. Yeah, I'm holding on. So I've got her grappled, and I'm trying not to let her swim away.
All right, so she's going to have trouble getting much further than 10 feet out. But she is trying to get away from the ship. This turned bad for her really quickly.
And as a note, she can still use her full attacks when she's grappled. She just can't move.
Yeah, the only thing I've done grapple-wise is stopped her movement. That's all.
Yeah.
Okay, so she's not
incapacitated.
So she's not moving at all, basically.
Right.
Okay.
Nor am I. Like I think I can try to make a move, but it's an opposed check again or something. But it doesn't.
Gotcha. So you and her basically thrashing around in the water at this point.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Probably attacking each other, or so I would imagine her attacks would be on me at this point.
Yeah, and you only. So her attacks are coming towards you.
All right. This could be bad.
A 15 and a 13.
Both miss. So what ends up happening is, you can hear the claws scrape against the metal armor of my. I keep my arm in the way, and her claws are trying to rake at it, and I'm trying to stay out of the way of it. Because my mage armor helps me avoid damage thus far.
All right, so we've got the rest of the guys we've got some hard grappling going on between the sailors. The one next to you, Zardan, is still trying to. He's making it even worse because now he's trying to hug the Harpy, and so there's just a ball of war. The Harpy, you're there. The other, what's his name? Bo's in the middle with you guys. So it's just a mass of limbs and feathers and stuff. Shadu, you're.
I am just going to, since I can't really shoot at somebody being grappled, correct? I'm going to grab a coil of rope.
I think you can.
Yeah.
Do you want me shooting at you while you're grappling her?
I think
mechanically, it's just +2 armor class for her. It's not like older editions where it was like -4 to your attack.
And if you miss, it doesn't mean it hits me. That they took that rule away.
But can it hit you?
No. There's no rule that says if you miss, it hits the other person.
Then I will shoot at her.
But she should get a +2 armor class. Not that the 25 of them.
That will not help.
You shoot her right in the eye. Oh, no. I put
8.
grappled in there so
Another
you
8.
could read it too. And you now do get your sneak attack damage.
Was that sneak attack?
Because I am definitely grappling her and making it so you get your sneak attack.
For the big one.
Boo.
That's okay. You didn't want to hurt me. Oh, that's okay. I got it.
Dude, I barely know you.
And I'm like trying to kick Zardan away. I'm like, get out of here, Zardan. Stop trying to get to her. And I'm trying to kick him in the face. Get out of here.
I don't care. I picked your pocket as you went up the stairs anyway. It's not a big deal.
I'm sure you did.
I got all your coin in my pocket.
Big thief. My pockets are illusions, just so you know. It's minor illusions.
Zardan. Ward, your companion has gotten into her embrace instead of you. You're very jealous.
Yeah,
Alright.
I'm like yelling at him, wake up, you green skin,
And
long ears.
And I get a save at the end of my turn.
Correct.
All right. Then I'm like, I see. It's because I'm a goblin. Get out of the way. And I try to shove Ward out of the way.
Yeah, that's awesome. Try to grapple me or something so that breaks
Exactly.
the grapple. I think that'd be
Yeah,
cool.
I'm gonna use athletics to try to put my little green arm around his neck and pull him away from her.
And I'm like, stop.
Jesus.
So I'm trying to hold on to the bird. Oh no, he's gonna get me. Watch. Mine is either. Now I can pick either Dex or Strength, right? Because you get athletics, the grapple.
Yep, athletics or acrobatics, whichever.
Okay, so I'll go acrobatics because I don't want to get. Yeah, that's how we nail it. That's how we do. You see that, PB? See those numbers?
Did you backflip back up onto the boat?
That's how you roll them dice.
With the Harpy with him.
That's how you roll them dice, Mur.
3-point landing, all Gambit style, his quarterstaff.
So you still have your bonus action or
And your
Anything else you can do?
end of round wisdom save.
I'll go right for the wisdom save because I don't really.
hopefully I punch him in the nose that gets him to come to his senses. Come on, we need a roll here.
I have no wisdom and no charisma. These are.
All you need is a 20.
Oh, look at that!
There you go.
So Ward basically kicking you in the face as you try to grapple him has shocked you to your senses. Now you realize you're in the water. You look up. Mur's hanging upside down, flailing on the side of the boat. Ward is on top of this big bird lady. Bo is trying to fight for her as well.
Arrows sticking out of her.
Mur, you're up.
I attempt to cut myself loose.
Cut loose. Cut
That'll be
loose.
very easy. So we'll give you basically take up kind of coming up from a prone position. So we'll take half your movement for you to extract yourself.
Oh, okay.
So you can either
And-
cut and go down or climb up and get up.
I'm gonna cut and go down.
All right.
Gonna
Everyone's
hash it.
getting wet. Everyone's getting wet but the cat.
I think you're all
And,
crazy.
Let's see, and that was my action. So I bob up, and that's my turn.
Here's the other issue. How many rounds before the boat leaves us as it continues to sail? We're in the water.
How
That's
many
a
until
good
it
point. I
leaves
didn't
you?
even think of that.
Yeah, it'd be just like slowly moving by, and they're like, "Man overboard!"
Gotta remember that.
They're
Movement
ringing
and
the
walk.
bell. Bing, bing, bing.
Yeah, they're right now. They're not manning anything. They're just trying to get
Yeah.
Johns and Ward. You're up.
Oh, all right. I think it's working. So I've grappled, There's no way I have my staff out at this point. That would not make any sense. So I'm going to try to just do a point blank. No, I'm going to maintain the grapple. Because I think if I cast, I'm not maintaining the grapple, would be the way I would think of that. So I'm going to maintain the grapple. And I'm going to... That's all I'm going to do.
All right, so you are maintaining the grapple.
Yeah. Yep, I'm trying to keep us so that it's easier for everybody to hit her, basically, is what I'm trying to do.
All right, so at this point, Johns is out of his condition. And him and Whitey run over, and the captain's coming over like, what the hell's going on? And she is going to, at this point, she's Zardan, you're out of it, right?
Yes. Yep.
All right, so her song is not doing her any good at this point. So she's stopped singing, and she's, screaming at you to let her go. Squawking and screaming as she attempts to break free of your grapple. So this is I keep forgetting. So she's going to try a dex to break free.
Acrobatics or athletics, whichever she wants.
"13. Can Ward hold on?"
Make that athletics check.
Yeah, I'm going to go... I can choose either, right? I can choose athletics or
No.
acrobatics.
If you're
to
grappling,
maintain.
you have to do athletics. The grappler.
Oh, oh, that's... Okay, yeah. So it's the strength one. All right.
Yeah.
She breaks free.
Okay.
How ironic is this that we actually have a grappler in the Storm King's Thunder who's never had a chance to grapple, and second run here we've got a grapple fight going on.
like the entire party grappling fight. Everybody's grabbing everybody.
Yeah, the few times I've grappled, it's gone like this. I've got the troll! I've got the troll! Everyone just shoots at him, and then he claws my face off.
Okay, she is going to attempt to get away. She is starting to fly away as quick as possible. She wants to have nothing to do with you guys.
She's flying.
Yeah, she's flapped up. She's launched herself and got about 15 feet away from where she was. No, 20. And she's screaming obscenities. Shadu, you're up.
Now, do we get attack of opportunity? For anybody that would be within... That she moves 5 feet out of... I don't know who all was within 5 feet of her.
The only issue I would say is I would give that to you guys if you guys had swim speeds, but most of your movement is being spent just keeping yourself from going under.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
All right, I'll crossbow again.
All right.
Nope.
That is a miss. Zardan, your beloved is getting away, though you don't like her anymore.
Yep.
So fickle are gnomes.
Gnomes.
Goblins.
5, 10, 15, 20. Perfect. All right. So can I make a throwing attack while treading water.
Sure, let's give it just like a minus for not being able to plant your feet.
Okay. Okay. Back to the core sheet. All right. Oh, yeah. Throw a vial of acid at her.
That is a miss.
Oh. All right.
Barely. Your vial goes ploop in the water. It kind of floats where she was. Myrrh.
I turn to the ship and I stash away one of my swords, and I start looking for some rope to just boop up.
All right, you see John's is already like thrown over the rope ladder to the side, so you can go ahead and start grabbing on that as it comes by.
Yeah, I just go over to it and I start climbing up. Wherever that is.
All right, Ward.
Yeah, I'll kind of try to swim on my back a little bit, and I'm pretty sure I can throw a firebolt her way.
Yep.
I don't think that'd be any problem. So I will firebolta. I clicked it. It's gonna happen. It's gonna work.
Yep.
I saw it.
Oh, there it is.
10.
Just 10.
That is a miss.
Yeah.
'Cause-
So what you see here too is when I throw it, it looks like a yellowy disc of fire. So it's got it's almost like a ring, a flat ring, or like a giant sized washer that rotates and flings out almost like a discus and misses her.
Cool. All right, and she.
I think Xena Warrior Princess kind of.
I was gonna say chakram.
Yeah.
Nice.
The
What
crawl.
was that? There you go. Crawl.
That's what I should have done. Damn it.
All right, so, and on her turn, she turns around, gives you a couple middle claws, and screams obscenities as she flies off.
She's out.
And she is out.
She's gonna do a dash. How far can she move?
She can move 40, so she'll be 80.
80.
So 80 plus her initial. So unless Shadu, is that still in range of you?
I'm 80/320.
So she's going to be 105 away from you.
Oh, I will pop her.
That is a hit.
Oh,
Ooh.
big damage. Nice.
You just see this arrow or this crossbow bolt, right? Fly out, hit her right in the butt. She squawks, a bunch of tail feathers fly out. She dips down, almost hits the water, and a couple more flaps, and she's just barely making it. So she's going to be another 80 away from you next turn. Well, actually, how far is Firebolt?
Firebolt is
120.
Yeah. Yep, 120 feet. I also have sleep at 90. If she's at 90, I could hit her with sleep.
No, she's 105 out.
All right, yeah, I'll throw a disadvantaged or no, it's regular. Just regular attack firebolt if I can.
You can.
Heck yeah.
She's
I don't want her to
almost
get
out of
her.
range.
Let's firebolt. Core normal. Uh-oh.
That's it.
Maybe she's flammable.
Maddening. Madness.
Again, just little pew, little bit of couple more feathers. She
Yeah,
almost hits
disc
the water.
just
She's
scrapes. Yeah, pass.
dragging a toe through the water. She looks just like a beat up pigeon at this point.
The problem was like in disc golf when you throw that disc and it looks good and then the rotation of the disc pulls it to the side, one side or the other. I just missed it. Dang it.
You are floating on your back in the water. I mean, that's still a pretty good shot.
So she's 185 away.
All right, so
Should
I
do
am
when you
I am
go.
at disadvantage here, right? Anything between 80 and 320.
Yeah, disadvantage shot.
By the way, if I could get on deck, I could shoot her. I got a range of 500.
Oh, jeez. All right, so we'll say your last turn was grabbing and getting up, right?
Yep.
Just do an athletics check to make sure you don't have any trouble getting up, and you can do that in one
Oh
round.
my God! Come on. Nope.
He's still, yeah, like I'm
Valiant attempt.
backpedaling and he's next to me. Your gunpowder's wet, anyways.
All right, Shadu.
All right.
Oh!
It's a 17 though. It's a 17 hit.
It's 17 hit.
Oh, nice. So it'll just be the first damage roll. Oh, that'd have been so good though. Oh, if only you had inspiration.
Oh, it didn't take.
As long as you can do,
Come on.
as long as you do at least what Ward did last turn.
2 points, man. Come on.
All right, I'm gonna have to roll it manual.
It's not working?
Reason. That's not working. No, or it's just coming through real slow on my end.
I got nothing for you.
Like if another player clicks it, nothing happens, right? Yeah, it doesn't.
4 points.
8
All
points.
right, 8 points. Nice. All right, describe as you at 185 feet.
He waits on that shot. He puts that last crossbow bolt in. You know, aims it, waits, finally flips the lever, sends that out, and of course it takes a second or two to even hit her. And you don't hear it because she's so far away, and then she just drops quietly into the water. And he's going to put his crossbow away and walk back down to the card game.
All right, so before the ship passes Ward and Zardan, the rest of the crew manages to get you aboard. Because that took all of 30 seconds?
No, he rolled a couple, so there was probably at least 6 rounds.
Yeah, so maybe a minute at most, right?
Yeah.
All right, we are out of combat.
I'll casually ask the captain if he's got any more crossbow bolts on board as I go down.
No, they do not carry crossbow bolts. But he does commend you on your fine shooting.
I'll return to my cabin to acquire my other set of dry clothes. Get near a warming stove of some sort.
Yeah, most of you, let's see. Everybody but Shadu got wet, right?
Did Mer get back on the boat or did she fall?
She went in
Oh, okay.
and then got back up. It's a wet fur bog.
What's that look like?
Should we take our 5 here?
Oh.
Get drinks and yeah, that'll work.
Let's do our break.
I'm out.
All right. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
You guys have successfully defeated the Sea Harpy. And are back to your game of Tonk.
I'm in the room trying to dry now. My tonk is done.
Your Tonk is done. All your luck was used on grappling a flying grapple leap.
Yeah. I'm writing about it in my journal.
Oh, that's true. Who's the journalist for the analyst for this unit?
I'd assume our fearless leader Ward.
Oh, I gotta do everything?
That's what happens when you're a fearless leader.
Fearless and
Yeah,
overworked.
I'll be putting it I'll be writing the chapter on how we almost lost Zardan to the ocean, to the sea.
All right, so the rest of your trip is gonna go fairly uneventful. You guys have gone through Asavir's channel, and you're nearing the captain's basically told you on next day, early morning next day, you guys should be arriving at the Isle. So I am going to move you. All right, I'm going to move you to the map of the Isle that you guys will see as you come in. You guys are going to end up sailing across from the north to the southeast. This map is huge, so you might have to zoom out. And it might take a while to load. It's taking forever on mine.
Oh, it popped right up. Just, yeah, gotta zoom out.
I'm assuming it's the dock, right down in the lower middle.
Yeah, and
That
it's
we're
not
coming in?
showing up for
Wow.
me, so
This is a big map. Moly.
there we go. Okay. Yeah, this map took me way too long to draw.
Oh, you drew this?
Yeah.
What program?
Photoshop?
God damn it. I mean, oh, great.
I obviously stole Mike Chalet's style.
I mean, this is amazing.
Oh, thanks. So I don't.
Yeah.
It's not showing up for me. All I see is like a patch quilt version.
I got the whole thing.
Yeah, I have the whole thing also.
You also might have other stuff on it that's on the GM layer that could make it.
Take longer to load.
Yeah.
That's where I'm assuming.
Yeah. So that little bay right there is where you guys come in, and let me force a reload on this. See if that helps.
How big are these hex? I mean, I guess if you did it.
It should be correct with the ruler.
Ooh, miles. It's okay. I used to have a calculator that did this for me.
So I think each hex is a quarter of a mile, maybe.
Oh, that would make sense. Yeah. Between 2 and 3. God, what is the conversion? No, that's feet. 1.67 something.
Kilometers? What are you converting?
Yeah. Yeah, it's
It's
kilometers.
2.4, I think.
1.60934.
Am I thinking
was
pounds to kilograms, maybe? Something's 2.4.
Possibly. I don't know measurements. That's something that was not prioritized in physics.
Well, I was lucky
Okay.
enough to be in the school system when Jimmy Carter said, "Let's convert to metric." And then the next year they went, "That was stupid. We'll never try that again." And I was like, "But metric."
Screw the
Metric.
rest of the world.
Yeah,
Exactly. I was
if
so
only.
I was bitten. Metric was so awesome.
America.
America. Yep.
I think it's America, North Korea, or is like America. There's like 3 other countries that use it, right? That don't do metric.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing.
We're in some stupid triad. The 3 dumb countries on
Yeah.
the planet.
Burma, Liberia, and the U.S.
We're part of the axis of
Stupid.
stupidity.
There you go.
I'm sorry. I gotta mute for a minute.
So I cannot get this map to load in
Yeah.
any reasonable fashion. None of my video stuff's working anymore.
Ooh.
You might be able to reconnect
Yeah, let
because
me
we'll stay in the game, but
let me shut this and try it again. I'm gonna
What?
do a restart on this whole thing.
this is for PB. What do you remember? Which Borderlands character your skill is to throw the hawk?
Malachi. Oh, sorry.
It's not 0. I thought it was 0.
To throw the hawk?
Yeah.
No, that's not 0. 0 doesn't have a.
It's from Borderlands 1.
Oh, is
then I
that
don't
why?
know.
That's why I thought it was 0.
And and it's Malachi.
That's the one I want then. I want to see
Remember,
his hawk.
it's tragic in Borderlands 2. You find out, right, that bird dies
Yeah.
at the end.
Rip Bloodwing.
After turning it into a gigantic raptor thing of some sort.
Yeah. Like all elements, and then he has an explosive collar.
Oh yeah, that's totally gonna be my familiar Bloodwing.
Bloodwing. Grr.
Borderlands 2 is the best. Gunzerker!
You missed it. We played it yesterday.
I know, I saw.
Could have used the 4th.
But did you start fresh?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
okay.
started
I was
from
gonna say
0.
because I don't have it on this machine. I played it on Xbox, so my character would be Gunzerker 1.
That's what I was. I was Assassin 1. Oh no, I played
Necromancer.
Necromancer 1. I got
Yeah,
the
Sammy was a psycho. I was the commando.
yeah.
So we're missing a siren and
I think that's what I played
Gage.
the first time was
an
Siren.
assassin.
Gage.
That's the one.
Did anyone? Oh,
Yeah,
you
the
played Gage.
Necromancer.
Oh,
Yeah.
she's the best. I love her. I mean, I play the Gunzerker, but my favorite character is Gage because
She's voiced by Ashley Birch, right?
I
The same
think
person
so.
who did Tiny Tina.
Yeah, and I there is nothing better because I played a run through with her, and there is absolutely nothing as fun as machine gun with her, and you're just throwing bullets and they're bouncing everywhere, and our anarchy is just going through the roof, and when one of the bullets finally does hit one, they just explode, and then you're like, get him. I can't remember the robot's name, Killbot or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
She's awesome. Someone played the Psycho?
Spammy.
Spam played the Psycho.
Yeah, so it was like non-stop screaming from the Psycho.
Yep. Yeah, there was like I played Brick in a group in Borderlands 1, and that was just the best. Never. You could see nothing. You get just this little tiny red ring that you could see, but everything you run into just explodes because you're all fists. Oh, good game.
I think we lost our DM. He's out. He's like, I'm done.
All right, so here on the Isle of Dread, we hunt dinosaurs, because they don't have magic powers, they don't have flame breath, and they're a ton of experience. We'll be like 12th level in no time.
I really wish we had a Minotaur Storm Cleric with us going to the Isle of Dead, but somehow we got the house pet.
You referring to the house pet that just saved all 3 of your lives? Is that
I
what
would
you're
have
talking
got her.
Okay.
She ran.
about? Yeah. With 4 crossbow bolts in her. I'm not the one drying out my clothes.
I helped you put those crossbow bolts in her. I held her still.
You did singe a couple feathers.
Oh, cool.
2 to be exact, right? So
I could send the hawk out to drag the body back to us, or at least hover over it so we could go get it.
You could have just had that hawk pestering her, giving me the sneak attack on every one of those shots.
I want to get the token, and I want him to have a little bit of chance to see before I bust out the OP-ness of a familiar.
Yeah. Particularly the flying one.
Oh my god. Dude,
Yeah, flying is OP.
wait till you see some of the crap I'm going to try to get away with.
So okay, before you get too going on that, druid, animal companion, flying snake. It's
Well,
just
I was going to
ridiculous.
ask. I never saw Teagrey on all week because I was going to ask about what are the other types of familiars that we can take. But I just figured a hawk would be cool.
Yeah, because the
without going
flying
crazy.
snake has the flyby attack. It does only 1 point of damage, but then it does ridiculous poison damage. And then once they're poisoned, disadvantage. Oh my god, the crunchiness of the flying snake is ridiculous. Particularly if you use it in summon animals at later levels.
Here's an awesome one though. This is what you can do, is, because you can cast a spell through your familiar, as long as it's a touch. So if the familiar does the touch, then it's casting the spell for you. Basically, you're casting through it. So the idea was, this was the warlock I was running that was doing the familiar, was you cast True Strike for your 1 round, which gives you advantage on your next attack, and then your next attack is a high level shocking grasp that comes from the familiar that was an invisible closet. So
Nice.
advantage, shocking grasp, super high level shocking grasp goes off. It's insane. It's so OP.
Okay, so now I had to move to inside because my other computer was not. Once I rebooted it, I could get no connection at all, so I don't know what's up with that. So now I'm inside. Maps loaded perfectly fine here, so don't know what was up. Okay, so when you guys come down, you guys kind of come from the northwest corner of the map and travel along the north coast and then come down past this little island and wrap around. Notable features when you're coming, the island is covered in thick jungle. You guys are getting closer south towards Chult and all that stuff. It's covered in thick jungle. Occasionally you see some shipwrecks along the shore. That northern bay, as you guys probably don't sail closer than, I don't know, 2 or 3 miles from the coastline as you guys go around. But that northern bay, in the center of it, the water is just kicking up with like whiteheads, whitecaps, and frothing kind of in the middle of it. The captain's like, yeah, no one goes into that bay. That's a death trap. There's basically a huge whirlpool that he knows exists in that center of that bay, which you can visibly see from as you guys pass it.
Yeah, usually you're trying to find the side of the island that is blocked from the wind. So it usually gets less of the bad weather, and it's a better place to set up your little town or your little whatever. Can we tell which side is getting the wind?
The side that's getting the wind mostly here, it's kind of coming from a north, what would you say, from the northwest. So the bay that you guys are coming into is pretty well protected, but it's fairly shallow. So the ship is having to dock fairly far out, or anchor rather.
Okay. So anything in like maybe over in, I'm going to ping over in this area, over in the east. I mean, this area should be pretty good because it's on the windward side. I'll maybe ask the captain, and it's like either one of these islands could be, maybe the water is calmer through here. Maybe I'll ask him if he knows.
Yeah, that actual section right there has a lot of reef and stuff. So he actually goes around that island.
So he goes around this side. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So that's kind of, there's some shallow reefs and stuff that are in there, and rocks. And when you kind of look at the island, it's covered in thick jungle canopy and stuff like that. You can see the mountains that you're seeing are still covered in jungle.
Okay.
So the majority of it is where you're seeing the forest is really the high canopy.
Mm-hmm.
Where you don't see forest is still thick overgrowth, and any kind of problem on this island, it's going to be fairly arduous.
Okay. What about if he sails us? Can we keep an eye on like maybe this area here for any type of area that might look promising, somewhere we could check out? Like, does any of that look like an area we could check out to say maybe it's a good spot or not?
Along that shore, you're not seeing anything.
Okay.
There is the occasional shipwreck along that shore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it is kind of Mr. Robot for me as well as Ariane, so it must be the Discord server.
It kind of straightened out, so
Why can't I pick on my own drawings here? There we go. Delete. All right. Well, so we sail across the top north of the island. We kind of see stuff off to our right-hand side, starboard side.
Correct.
He makes us sail around the smaller island because he doesn't want to go in where the reefs are, and then continues to head down south around, and that's when we get our first glimpse of this bay.
Correct. He's going to anchor the ship kind of basically right in the middle here. He's not willing to go any further northwest, but you guys can see the dock off in the distance.
And I missed how each hex represents what in distance?
Each hex is about a quarter of a mile.
Oh, okay.
So 4 hexes would be a mile.
Okay.
So the island's roughly, probably, I think, that should be easy to tell, about 7 miles wide. I think 10 or 12 miles long.
Okay.
All right, so the captain moors out there, or anchors rather, and the crew starts getting rowboats and stuff filled with supplies, and you can see on the dock there are several small bodies that have crates, and there's other stuff there, and they're starting to get stuff ready. So they start the process of shipping back and forth, taking supplies to the dock and bringing stuff coming from the dock. And the stuff that's coming from the docks is usually in big wooden crates and stuff, which the couple of you that have been on transport before have seen those kind of crates coming with goods and stuff from this island. And that's where you saw that black enameled armor was in one of those crates and stuff. So, at any point, the captain tells you guys, feel free to go over with the supplies. I will. I'm going to stay here and start getting stuff situated that comes in. But Phineas should be at the dock, and he's expecting you guys.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of gear, so I'll wait till my companions show up with their gear, and then we'll get in one of the boats that has, not as much cargo in it, so we can fit. As we have them take us over.
I basically load everything, including my Dungeoneer's pack, into my bag of holding. So I've got my magazine pouch and my bag of holding as my only luggage. And then, of course, weapons.
How big is your bag of holding, by the way?
It's like 500 pounds worth of stuff.
Like in dimension, real world.
2 foot diameter is as big as stuff as you can get into it.
So like half as tall as you?
Right, like I can fit in it because, I'm yay big, and so I can squeeze into the bag. But there's only 10 minutes worth of air in the bag. So
I'm trying to visualize you carrying this along with you, like how that looks like. Because I'm sure it looks amazing.
Yeah, it's like a big, hippie bag with, bits and bobs and bones and fringe on it. And
suede.
So, yeah, kind of, it's a leathery bag with, like I said, little bits of fringe, which got little bones tied into it and stuff. And then I've got my gun, my stuff where, I make my bullets and stuff from that bag on the other side. And it's like half the size of the bag of holding. And it's more, I don't know if you've ever seen muzzleloader bags. It's a bag like that. It's about, like yay big, like a foot across, and again with the same kind of like fringe type stuff on it.
Nice, thank you.
All right, so as you guys get to the dock, you see that there are several gnomes around the dock. There's tons of cargo that's been kind of taken off. You can see that there's a wagon, several wagons with donkeys, some of which have already taken off with most of the supply. And there is a gnome there. Most of the gnomes are in like overalls and work boots and stuff like that, but there's one gnome there that's kind of like in a flamboyant robe, and it's just covered in dirt. It's weird that he's wearing a white robe, but you can see that he's been digging and stuff like that. He's got a big handlebar mustache and wears a big cowl on his head. That, in your estimation, must be Phineas from the descriptions that you guys have had. He's sitting there shouting at different gnomes to get their stuff together. And basically the end of you guys are one of the last times the boat's going to come in. Most of the supplies have been delivered. Most of the outgoing stuff has been picked up.
I'm going to have we have badges that we could receive from the company, right? We have.
Correct.
Yeah, so I'm going to make sure at this point that I have mine out and like prominently displayed on my robe as I'll walk over to him and maybe as I'm 10 feet away or so, I'll kind of shout Phineas and, I'll be like, Phineas, hold my hand up.
Yes, yes.
And then, I'll kind of walk over to shake his hand and ask, hey, your supplies are here, and we'd like to know anything that's going on around the island at the moment.
It's like, yes. Barrel told me you'd be here. Great to have you here. Lots is taking place on the island. We are discovering things daily. You'll be very excited to see it. I assure you. And he's just seems kind of absent-minded. He's like all excited to talk to you, and then just kind of looks away and starts shouting at people to do it.
All right. And I ask, well, it's obvious you look busy at the moment. Is there a place where we may shelter until this evening and have a dinner where we may talk when it's less busy?
He says, yes, assuredly. We will be going shortly back to the dig site. You are more than welcome to make camp there. Make it a point of... Basically, Beryl told you that you'll be able to use the dig site as the kind of like a home base of operation.
Okay. Oh, yeah, and I'll
says,
give him kind of a quizzical look, and I was like, oh, how far is the dig site? I assumed we were at the dig site already.
Oh, no. He says, much further, at least 2 miles up. He says, we'll be leaving shortly. So at this point, you can tell that the guys from the ship, they're rowing back to the ship, getting stuff. And he's just going about trying to get the last bit of the supplies put onto these carts and wagons. The dock is definitely a permanent thing that's been built here by them. It doesn't look really old, but it obviously, a lot of this stuff looks like it's been saved here. They've got tarps over stuff that they keep on the beach and stuff.
And are we getting a general sense of how many? Is it all gnomes? Is it just this guy is the gnome and not others?
It's
or?
all you see is gnome.
Gnomes everywhere.
Gnomes. This is an entire gnome expedition.
And just ballpark numbers, I'll just kind of scan to try to get just a rough number.
You only see about 4 or 5 here at the beach.
Oh, any guards?
Including Phineas. A couple of them are armed, but most of them aren't.
So yeah, as I guess we watch them load stuff up, I look to my companions. Well, it appears we have arrived safely.
Shadu is of no help. He will jump up onto a barrel and sit and sigh, muttering something about spent his whole life in a freaking jungle and now he's back in one. What is he doing here?
Mer will also stray from the pack and just like go up to the nearest tree and it's just like how similar this is or how different it is from a normal forest. Just being like, how much am I going to be of use here?
Yeah, it's definitely overgrown. It's pretty, and you're used to regular forests, right?
Yeah,
Temperate
it's
stuff.
the only choice. Yeah.
Yeah, so this definitely, the heat's a little much. Everything's kind of buzzing and crawling around. Tons of mosquitoes.
Yeah, and I'll say quietly as both of them tromp off, and I absently forget that Zardan is there, and I'm like, all right, good talking with everybody. Just pick our stuff up and start to move.
And when Ward turns around, Zardan's got like black like smears that he's put like soot on, so it's broken. It's like tiger stripe camouflage, and he's got a big frond leaf on his head, and maybe like a fern or two tied around his arms, and he's like, you know, working on his weapons. Just like looks up like,
I'm
I'm
in
sorry.
camouflage. I go nowhere without it.
He's already got first blood.
Yeah, exactly. Total like
Get to the
Apocalypse
top.
Now, you know, the end scene where he comes out of the water and he's all tiger striped.
There'll
yeah,
definitely be
so-
a silent shake of the head from Ward as he moves to the front wagon, I guess, to find a seat. Or
Right,
actually, he'll go with Phineas. He'll look to see where Phineas is going to ride and try to maneuver his way on there. And I'll take the badge off now that we've met Phineas and conceal the badge.
Okay.
I try to find a place on a wagon wherever. Since Ward tromped away, I do the same kind of thing. Like, okay, nobody told me what to do. He's getting in a wagon, and I just go to the closest wagon and try to, kick back on the buckboards kind of thing.
All right, so you guys are doing that. They're still the gnomes are still kind of like getting the last bits together. You hear a couple of them kind of grumble that they're not getting a lot of help in getting stuff set up, and they some of it is aimed at you, but it's also aimed at one of the other gnomes, Bumps, because he always seems to be kind of like not doing what he should be doing. In fact, at this moment, he's off with a fishing pole down the beach a little bit fishing.
And can I have I don't have a name for the hawk yet, but I'll let the hawk fly, and then I've worked out to let it go and just kind of look around for anything that's dangerous that is approaching us to warn us. Because I think it only I can communicate when he's within 100 feet, but other than that, I have to wait till he comes back.
And how far out does he go?
I think he's like a normal creature at that point, can just go. I could send him miles off and have him come back.
Okay.
And
how far are you going to send him out?
I think you just send him up like a normal hawk that's circling quite a ways up, a couple 100 feet, and then the rudimentary instructions is anything that looks big and menacing, looks like it's approaching us, warn us. Other than that, it wouldn't know anything else what to do.
Okay, so it's flying its way out and doing a big circle.
Like owl bear charging us down, or a big army heading towards us or something.
Okay, so it's up
dinosaur.
It's up scouting.
Dinosaur. There you go.
All right, go ahead and give me just a roll a d20.
All right, and I think our the thing we've worked out is that he makes the hawk screeching cry that you can hear if there's danger that I should know of.
Okay.
So just regular d20.
Yep. Okay.
9. They also, I think you can use the hawk as a creature. So if you eventually just want to use the hawk from like the monster manual, it has passive perceptions and movement speeds and all that kind of stuff. It works just like a normal hawk. The hit points, even all that stuff.
Got it.
And we can do that when we don't have to do it tonight. We can get it all set up for the next time. I'll tell him to stay out of danger, and then warn us if he sees anything that it thinks is dangerous to us.
All right. So, as you guys most of you are just sitting there, right? Zardan's putting on his face paint. Myrrh and Shadu are making sure not to help.
I'll walk behind a wagon when we leave, though.
Okay. So, as you guys are getting close, ready to leave, you do hear the hawk screech, and he's probably flying about several 100 feet up in the air. And he's kind of starting to screech, screech, screech.
Do we all hear that?
Yeah, everybody hears it.
Then I will mutter, "It never ends in places like this."
Yeah, I would look to Phineas and say, there may be danger. What could be approaching us? And then kind of motion to our group to prepare themselves.
So as Phineas looks back to you and says, "I don't know," and then you see his eyes kind of go kind of bright, kind of widen up, and he screams, "Bumps!" And everyone turns, and where Bumps was fishing, you see Bumps basically hanging out of a huge crab claw, holding him basically way up in the air as he was fishing right on the rocks in the shore, and this thing's coming out, and he kind of screams once or twice, and then he's just a limp thing as this thing's starting to shake him around in the air. And that'll push us into initiative.
Nice.
Where's our tokens?
Yes,
good
let me
question.
grab you. Those are necessary, huh?
First
Just
it's
a little
giant
bit.
crabs, next it'll be evil monkeys. It never ends in jungles.
Shadow is just so over it. He sees it.
Thinking
He
like
rolled his
seafood
eyes. He's
tonight is what I'm thinking. We're gonna
I
broil
hate
this
these
up.
places.
I'm just looking at it like, huh. Well, that's kind of cool, I guess.
So
With
does
no regard of the dead gnome.
You know who lives in jungles? People who can't afford to live in cities.
yeah, have we picked up that Myrrh is friendly towards plants, but have we gotten any indication that animals are something Myrrh holds in regard?
You've seen nothing.
Okay.
We have not even been in nature together. You were in a city. We were city boys.
He's a blank wall.
But I didn't like see you feeding cats and dogs all day long.
No, no.
Like, okay.
My God, you're not a vegetarian, are you?
Myrrh is very much like Shadow in the whole just very selfish way.
She's calling you out, should it?
I'm not arguing with her.
All right, so
Nice beach, nice beach.
let me clear this before you roll.
Oh, I need to zoom in on bumps. This looks like an amazing token. Oh my gosh. It's an amazing token.
That is awesome.
So Bumps is in the hand of a giant crab.
I don't know what that just
23.18?
did. Yeah.
That's a weird initiative.
How very specific of you.
Yeah, very.
I'm going before 23. Guaranteed.
I don't know why that would be. The modifier is a 2.
You got a 6.8 in there.
18? Yeah, where'd you get that? Point 8? Where'd you type in point 18?
Nowhere. That's interesting. What if I take this off? And then I go back to here. Oh, you know what it is? It's not 0.8. It's I rolled a 23, but I have a dex 18 in case somebody else rolled a 23. So it can tell you who the
Oh, that's
the dexterity standoff is. Yeah, so mine's a 23. And then it shows 18 in case anybody else rolled it.
cool.
Be somewhere, like over
And that's the checkbox where it says in the gear, add dex tiebreaker to initiative. So it's just adding a point number of your dex. So, all right. Yeah, mine's 23. Wow. I am quick.
You also notice that this crab doesn't look to be that healthy. There's big holes missing from its carapace.
Shit. Oh, Shadow's gonna love this. Can't wait.
That is a beat up crab, even in the illustration. Nice job.
All right, so we're going into initiative.
Oh,
Looks like Ward is first.
is that a zombie crab? That's
That's
sweet.
what the thing says.
So I assume that we all had a long rest after the other battle, so that we were all normal hit points, normal
Yes.
spell slot stuff. Okay.
Yeah, you came into it all clear, and it took you about. We showed up probably around 10 a.m. when the ship, and it's probably been at least 2 hours of loading, unloading, all that kind of stuff. So we're looking around noon.
Yeah, so first thing you see for me is the Mage Armor, for sure. You hear the clanking of the metal as it covers portions of my body. And then I'm going to, I need to move 5, 10, 15, 20, 5 foot squares, I assume. 5, 10, 15,
Yes.
30, as far as I can get. So that was action, movement, and that's it. No bonus action for me, and no. Oh, do you want to put the? You want to put a token for the hawk as I summon it back towards me, because it gets its
let me
own
throw this.
Initiative too. Is it actually? Can I put in here hawk and it'll come up? Oh yeah, it will. It's in the SRD. So hawk has.
Tried to drag it on, but it didn't do anything.
Dex of 16, so
I
it's
see 2 of them on the beach.
So he gets a +2 to initiative then.
Yeah, if you see 2 of them on the beach, those are the ones I drag, but I don't see them. I'm just having all sorts of roll 20 problems today.
What layer are you on currently? Because sometimes if you bring something on, you might have put it on either the map layer or the GM layer, but not the token layer.
Yeah, put it on the token layer. If
okay.
GB can see it.
I don't.
Well, I don't know what these are. They're
Yeah, I
brown
can see
something
them.
or others.
Yeah, those right
And
there.
that's where I dragged it, but I can't see it.
Yep, there's 2 of them there, just chilling.
If you click on it, do they pop up?
I can see where you guys are clicking.
They look like birds. Did you drag birds on?
I dragged Hawk from the players from the monster manual.
Yeah, you should work. And then once you click on the token, you should be able to assign it to Ward.
Yeah, I can't see the token.
That's weird.
Let's make a third one.
What's the what browser are you using?
Chrome.
Okay. I end up using Firefox all the time, but I don't know if that matters.
I'm gonna drag one right next to Shadu.
I see it.
Yep, it just appeared.
Yeah, it's not appearing for me. That's so weird.
All right. Well, I'll just have it not do anything this time. We'll figure it out.
Okay. Yeah, I gotta get it in as a. I don't know why it's not appearing. Anything I drag in is. Yeah, it's gonna be problematic when I bring in the other 5 crabs, though.
Probably.
All right, so Ward, you're up.
Oh yeah, the bird went for a 3. Yeah, I'm all done. So Mage Armor moved, and then my turn is completed.
All right, Shadu.
I will use my feline agility, and it's essentially a double move, and move 60 down to the beach, going towards that large rock formation. And then shoot it with my crossbow.
All right.
Probably missing.
That is a miss. Plinks off its carapace. Does that bring us to...
I don't think you have to hide from a zombie, but I will use my cunning action to try to position myself so that thing can't see me. With my last 10 feet of movement behind that rock.
Okay. Myrrh, you're up.
You got to make a stealth roll so he knows how well you hid.
45, 50, 55, 60. I'll just head there, and that'll be my turn. Drawing one of my swords, so I could draw the other one next turn.
Okay. It can smell your zombie cat brain. Click, click, click.
It's like got different eyes, and each one is looking at different people.
What's your dex, Arden?
16.
You go first.
All right. I will use the dash action.
I like these gnomes. I want to be a gnome now.
A gnome explorer.
Gnome barbarian.
That's it for me.
All right.
I think we're gonna lose bumps.
Yeah,
Bumps.
bumps. As you see this thing come up, it takes the other claw. It's really not even a claw, it's just half a claw. Digs it into Bumps, and just basically Bumps gets ripped in half as this thing flings him into two pieces. And starts moving forward.
No, not bumps.
And as it starts going closer to the camp, it sees Shadu here and goes to attack Shadu.
I'm sorry. Every time someone says Shadu, I want to go da 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 da. Shadu, Shadu.
Shadu. You got hit for.
Doo-wop band.
I'm sorry.
Ow.
So that's an ow.
Oh, there you go.
3 damage. And it grabbed you. So you will have a DC check to get out. It's weird how it put that whole thing in there.
Do I make that roll now, or at the beginning of my turn?
I think it's when your turn. When you say you want to escape, because if you decide you don't want to escape, you just want to stand there and pummel it, then you don't have to actually make the roll. But if you want to get away from it, then you'd make the roll.
All right, Ward is up.
All right. I will
And
continue.
Phineas
to move.
is just kind of yelling at the other gnomes.
20,
Do something,
25,
do something.
30. And since the crab is, is it clear that he's able to reach further than 5 feet? That's why he was able to get Shadu. So he's like able to reach 10 feet out because he has a big claw. We're seeing that happen.
He reached over that rock and picked up
All right.
Shadu as he was scrambling.
I run to Shadu and I'm going to try to firebolt it because I can't get into 5-foot range. I don't have enough movement. So firebolt away. Regular, normal, no advantage. Yep, just firebolt. Man, I just can't hit with these discs. So I miss.
Pew!
And I yell to Shadu, I'm coming. Break free, run past me.
Shadu, you are up. You are being lifted off your feet in the claw of this giant zombie crab.
All right. Can I use athletics or aerobics? What do you want for a DC on that?
It's his is 11, so
You could roll either. If he's grappling you. Easy.
Yeah, so you break free fairly easily.
I will use a disengage with my cunning
Nice.
action. Just move that far back. Does that count? Does the escape count as my action?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. Lucian?
I don't think when it's an ability like that where it automatically happens, that's almost like at the start of your turn, you make that roll to see if you've escaped that move. So to me, that's not using an action to escape.
Okay.
Whereas if both of us ran up to grapple each other, like we're using an action to grapple and do that kind of stuff, then it might be. But like that to me is like an
It's a
ability that says
byproduct
you
of the
get to-
attack.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I wouldn't think so. I don't think I would rule it that way, but it's
I
up to you.
will kick that claw, use my cunning action to disengage, and then tumble backwards and shoot. And miss.
Pew.
Well. Oh yeah. Your cunning action is your disengage, is what you're saying, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that's why. Yep, that makes sense.
All right.
Getting
Any
through
other
this.
actions?
That is everything I can do.
Myrrh.
I am going to
What do y'all
run
to
up
Zardan?
ahead.
We need the big gun.
and I'm going to attempt to hit this guy, but knowing me, I will probably throw my sword into the ocean.
I was hoping for
Oh, here's
parlay.
the first one.
Parlay.
Just grab it and rip its legs off.
Oh, 14. You feel it. You hit the carapace, but it just kind of bounces off.
Ooh, this could be tough.
And that's my turn.
Get your butter sauce out. We're gonna start cracking some legs.
Rotten
And this
crab.
thing's not smelling good. Yeah, it's kind of putrid smelling. Zardan smells like
Oh.
old seaweed.
Do purified
Yeah,
food and
dude.
water.
I was gonna say literally. Oh my guts. All the horrible seafood smells. Okay. I guess it's thunder cannon time. And oh
Bada boom!
yep.
That is a miss.
Yep. Bonus
Wow.
action. Bonus action to reload.
All right.
Death save for bumps.
I'm going to say since he's in two pieces,
He has to make two of them.
he has to make two death saves.
I used the mending cantrip.
Okay, so his legs failed. His upper body made it.
That's actually funny.
So there's still a chance.
There's still a chance. All right, it is going to scramble after.
Of course.
Oh, well, Myrrh is right there. It's going to take an attack at Myrrh.
Furbolg up.
Ooh. Into the sand.
Nice.
All right, and it moves around you as it does that. Ward, you're up.
All right. I'm gonna move forward, and I'm going to strike with my quarterstaff. Or
Here's a question.
Yeah.
Since it has a reach of 10, does that allow it to have an attack of opportunity since you moved from a threatened square to another one?
No, if you stay within threat, they don't get it. It's only when I move out of threat or when I try to
Gotcha.
move away from its threat.
Okay.
Yeah. What kind of weapon do you have, Mer? Oh, you had short swords.
Short
Sorry, you had short
swords.
swords. And you could attack twice. Yeah, I'm gonna try to use the help action to distract it enough that Zardan gets advantage on his attack. So I'm not going to attack. I'm going to move in. I'm going to use help action, which I believe will give him advantage on his attack. Let me read it just to make sure I have that right, because I don't think anybody's... To another creature in completion of a task. Advantage on
I like
ability
how
check.
Storm King's Thunder we've played over a year and not one of us has ever
I know.
helped anybody.
Exactly it.
Creature.
And,
Yeah.
of all the times that Finn shield mastered and knocked someone down, I was never close enough to take advantage and just chop them to pieces with advantage.
So I feint, distract the target, or in some other way team up to make your ally's attack more effective. It does say you can aid a friendly creature in attacking a creature within 5 feet of you. So as long as it's within 5 feet of me. So yeah, I'm distracting it. I'm making a lot of noise. I'm trying to draw its attention to give Zardan a better shot so that he will get advantage. And that is my movement and action for my turn.
All right. Zardan, you have advantage.
Woo-woo.
And we are to Shadu.
I will shoot it with my crossbow.
17 hits.
And he is engaged with ward, so I believe I get sneak attack.
Look at the
Did
synergy.
they remove like sneak attack on, because before you didn't get it on undead, right? But now that's gone.
Oh, that's a good
Yeah.
question.
Crits.
No.
It used to be you didn't get criticals on undead.
Yeah, there's no rule about that now.
Yeah, in 3rd edition, couldn't get a critical strike on them because, their organs and whatever don't matter.
Right. Which makes no sense because you're always trying to hit him in the head. 13 damage.
Oh, snap.
That's a deadly crossbow.
It's not the cross.
That lands with a good thunk.
It's not the crossbow, it's the shooter.
Myrrh.
I will try again. Push and push. Assuming 21 hits.
Yes.
Boop. And that is my turn. I just stand there.
All right.
So
Zardan.
seven piercing damage. So we're getting piercing damage in here. Good. Has any of us fought undead before to know enough about things we should be doing here?
Have you?
Nope.
Nope.
All right. Yeah, I would say Ward probably not. Furball, you fought undead before? All right.
15?
15 hits. Your 12 would not have.
See, yes, the plan works.
I hope.
Boom. 13 piercing damage?
Yes.
Wow. All right. Describe how you slay the giant. Oh, wait a minute. Describe how you think you slay.
And then the next roll happens.
I shoot it behind the eye stalks. It falls. It stands back up.
It might.
It might. The problem is you did so much damage.
Yeah, that DC could be high, hopefully.
So yeah, basically the round goes in like behind where the eye stalks are, and it slumps over for a second.
If only it got advantage. You see it start to twitch and fall motionless.
I'll rush over to Bumps. Start stitching them back together.
I yell to Myrrh, watch your back in case there's more.
That'd be evil.
And when you say that, Zardan's eyes get big and he moves away from the water.
Put the rock, but yeah, put me between the rock and the water.
Bumps is horribly bleeding out of his intestines are strewn about the sand.
Well, I got nothing for you, buddy.
He's
Sorry.
wailing. Why did I go fishing? All I wanted was a rock cod.
Saving.
Myrrh walks over and casts Cure Wounds on this idiot.
I'll hold his lower half to his upper half while you're doing that. Hopefully it'll kind of fuse together.
I cast
Wow.
mending.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know how to rule on it.
The only it's up to you. It's your game, but I think the only ones I ever, if they hit 0, they're dead as far as a minion or a
Yeah, that's true.
regular person. But if it's a named high end PC, is the only time I would do a death save kind of thing.
He's got a name on the token.
Maybe he's just cut off at the knees. It was just the knees that were.
If
So,
Junie or Dozer were to go down, we'd be trying to save them too.
so as you cast Cure Light, it mends like the bottom part of his like severed abdomen.
There you go. Nice.
Lieutenant Dan.
Mm-hmm.
Because it doesn't reattach limbs.
It doesn't reattach.
I like it. Nice.
That's okay. I had those legs on backwards anyway.
And your legs was all like this.
That's cool. Because it was a little choo-choo that could.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Bumps isn't gonna survive.
Oh my god, we're gonna major paint it.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good call. You knew what I was talking about.
Love
I
that
can make
movie.
you forget about that pain.
Paint.
All right. Shadow will just walk away once he realizes it's a lost cause.
He's just a child.
All the other
Totals.
gnomes kind of run over and everyone's kind of bawling and stuff. But
Can I have the hawk fly over the shore, say 30 feet up, looking for large shapes in the water,
yes,
just in case?
and that was definitely the large shape that it tried to alert you to.
Yeah, I have it flying close enough that I can give it instructions to look for more and to tell us if there's more.
It is screeching.
Ooh, start telling everybody, back up! Back up!
And it's doing it hundreds of feet out, but Phineas at this point is like, let's get out of here. He's yelling at everybody to pack up and get going.
Or are you grabbing the body? Oh, I'll grab the
Nope.
body. I'll drag it.
Myrrh was just like washing her hands.
It's a gnome.
in
It's
the-
pretty
in
easy
the
to
ocean.
carry. I'll
Half
drag it
gnome.
once.
Half gnome.
Zardan does grab his brass cartridge and
Nice.
blowing it out as we.
I yelled to Phineas to take this gnome from me. His take bumps from me.
All right, so Dozer and Tamal get bumps in the wagon,
Blood streak. Oh,
and you guys all hop up. The hawk continues to screech, and you guys kick it into gear and get off the beat.
Could someone screenshot that, please, so I can tweet it out?
Wait, let me finish it though.
Okay. Hold on.
throw some legs at the bottom and
You ain't got no legs.
perfect.
It's gonna be a blood trail leading to wherever we're going.
No, I'm sure that whole drag, that was all of his blood. I'm sure that's all of it.
Yeah, he's
It's just done now.
The evil monkeys will follow that in a heartbeat.
Evil spaceman.
All right, so you guys hop on the wagons and kick up the donkeys and hightail it off the beach and start going inland. I think that's probably where we'll cut it.
Poor Bumps.
Poor bums.
Dun dun dun.
And on the way there, Phineas he's telling everybody that we need to burn Bumps as soon as we get him to camp.
And why did we bring him with us? Why don't we just burn him on the? Why don't we just?
Yeah,
leave him
yeah. No,
burn
I
him?
think that's great, and I'll give him that look of, what do you mean? If something dies, it comes back?
Exactly. We must burn all our dead within 2 hours.
Why,
We might have to
again,
burn him before we even make the dig.
Why
Well-
didn't we burn him on the? Could have been the sweet bonfire. Why did you wait?
I looked at
Nice.
Zardan and I'm like, hey, put this in your bag.
Okay.
Be a surprise for later.
It won't rot.
It won't be able to get out either.
Yep. Half gnome. Ah.
Might be able to use it later. It could come in handy later as a trap or
Well, yeah.
as a diversion.
I was gonna say we're all tied up, and they're like, "What's in this bag?" They turn it over.
Just reach your hand in.
I pull everything out. Ah. Gonna need a new bag.
No, let somebody rob you. That'll be hilarious.
Sweet.
Oh, extra dimensional space.
All right, we're going to go ahead and end it there, guys. We'll see you in the next one. Make sure you stop back by on Monday nights to watch more Storm King's Thunder and more Dark Tides. We go every other week, so lots of gaming. See you soon.